Alright guys, saddens me to say this, but this is going to be a bit of a dark video. If you guys haven't been noticing lately, Ultra Instinct Shaggy has been trending again. It is a dead meme. What could possibly bring a meme back from the dead? Well, allow me to explain. Ultra Instinct Shaggy has been circulating around the internet for a while now. Of course, it has happened around the time of 2017 and upwards, because that's when Ultra Instinct Goku became a thing, if I'm not mistaken. So, that being said, why? Well, Shaggy is a character from Scooby-Doo who was known for being a coward and afraid of ghosts. Well, around that time, an episode of Scooby-Doo happened where he was being threatened by a biker gang, and suddenly his personality went through a change. And out of nowhere, he was dodging all of their attacks, fending them off at blinding speeds, creating after images, and just making a fool out of all of them. What else could this possibly be? He was hyper-focused. It had to be Ultra Instinct. I mean, that was the biggest thing at the time. So the memes started. We see Shaggy fighting Thanos from Infinity War, which was also popular at the time. Hey, not bad, Thanos, man. You made me use 10% of my power. Obviously, it's a joke. Fun fact, the Big Bang was caused by Shaggy using 14% of his power. It's a stupid meme. We've seen memes like this before. Look at this. But Shaggy can outnumber you. Then it is like an equal fight, Scoob. And you see he's facing all of these heavy hitters. Jotaro Kujo, Baki Hanma. I don't know why they don't have Kenshiro instead, but whatever. Saitama, Ken Kaneki, Luffy, Goku, Superman, Ichigo, Naruto, Sans, and Big Chungus. And Shaggy considers all of them together an even fight. Goku and Superman was not enough. We needed all of them just for it to be an equal fight. That's insane. But again, it's a joke. But when does it stop becoming a joke? When does it stop becoming a joke? Well, guys, we found memes. I found some memes that have been circulating for a while. But are these really memes? Are we supposed to believe these are memes? Or is this actually an interview with a god? We have this selfie of Shaggy right here. These foolish mortals actually think I use 1% of my power. Bruh. This is just the actor of Shaggy. There's no way. I mean, obviously this is a meme. That's what we thought until one of the people behind the Scooby-Doo 2 movie had an interview and someone asked him about Shaggy. Shaggy? I thought we agreed no questions about Shaggy. If we acknowledge him, it makes what he did real. You know he already knows we're talking about him. What I saw on set, the pure electrical power, the rage, I can't go through that again. I'm sorry, this interview is over. So this man is obviously shook. But what did Shaggy do? So then we get an interview with Shaggy in the form of a meme. The SCP Foundation actually tried to contain me one time. Called me Apollyon. I'm not familiar with the SCP Foundation. I know about it, but I'm not like deep into it. I'm not really into that fandom. Let's see. And that would cause a CK event or something. Needless to say, I made them vanish in 5 seconds. I actually used 0.002% of my power. So, if I'm not mistaken, the SCP Foundation is like an organization that existed from the beginning of time that collects monsters and gods that are a threat to the universe, if I'm not mistaken. Apollyon. Let's see what the fuck that is. Apollyon. SCP. Here we go. Who is Apollyon SCP? The first used SCP. Interesting. But we know that this man is the first SCP, right? Well, it gets deeper than that. He was the first creature that was collected that was a threat to the universe. But then things take a turn. I'm actually the founder of the SCP Foundation. Every SCP is me using a sliver of my power to create a new monster in the hope of creating something that could form its own power. Scooby is the only successful SCP I've created so far. So, this man, oh shit, his own foundation tried to take him down. They're all failures. Scooby-Doo is the only success. He's the only monster or god that he created that was successful in living up to his expectations, which explains why Scooby-Doo is always sticking around with him. He has love with his creation of his. It's like the son of God. Jesus Christ. What's next? I remember the first time I had to use 100% of my power. It was to let her go and accept that she would be happy with somebody else. So I'm guessing what happened here is that Shaggy was so powerful that being in a romantic relationship was becoming dangerous for his significant other, so he had to let her go. Shame. It's a shame. Even the most powerful of creatures just can't avoid heartbreak. Anyway, what's next? The casting process for Shaggy was very strange. We had to wear a costume and see if we were capable of containing his power. I was the only survivor. This changes everything. This, in fact, is not Shaggy. This is just an actor playing Shaggy in a movie, but I guess he's more than acting like Shaggy. He's using Shaggy's power. And a bunch of people died from attempting to do this. These people wanted to make a Scooby-Doo movie so realistic that they had, instead of acting as Shaggy, they wanted him to become Shaggy. And unfortunately, it costed some lives, and he's the only one powerful enough. He's the only human that had the potential to contain it, because maybe he's the real-life counterpart of the fictional character. The human closest to being that fictional character. This fictional character has invaded our dimension, and he's bridging the borders between fiction and non-fiction. This is the work of a god. What's next? I don't actually remember filming any scenes. Once the camera started rolling, I would black out as the spirit of Shaggy possessed my mortal body once again. This confirms it. This man is being possessed by Shaggy himself. So it looks like even though Shaggy has invaded our world, he can't seem to find a physical form. He needs a host. And this man is Shaggy's host. This man who poses as Shaggy has the curse of containing this being inside of his body. What's next? Making the movie was a very hard process, actually. I could only use 0.1% of Shaggy's power at a time. There was one instance where I had used 0.8% and the entire set turned to ash. Is this what the director was talking about that Shaggy did? He destroyed the entire set just from using minimal effort, accidentally. And this isn't even Shaggy, this is just someone using Shaggy's power. What the hell is this? This is a little small. Let's zoom in a little bit. The studio actually had to build a series of devices to block my newfound summoning abilities. Otherwise, the set would be overrun with dogs. I still live there to this day. So, he lives inside of, I'm guessing, a huge device that's built to contain his power. Or the studio would be overrun by dogs. What does this mean? Well, you see, he has love for Scooby-Doo, so I guess the soul of Shaggy within him yearns for his creation. He can't find Scooby-Doo in his world. Scooby-Doo isn't in this world. So in order to find Scooby-Doo, he's attracting creatures genetically similar to Scooby. And they're being drawn to the area so he could find them. So he could find a dog for Scooby-Doo to possess next. Having two monsters like this in this world. No, we already have one and the world's already falling apart with this man just holding Shaggy's power. Having Scooby-Doo come here, no, there is no way we could survive. I mean, this dude is a ticking time bomb already. I think we only have a matter of time before this world, or maybe even universe, or maybe even the entire universe is just gone. So let's see what this man says next. When filming was complete, I was allowed to keep the Shaggy costume. I needed it in order to fulfill my destiny of unlocking his full power. I brought the costume with me to the heart of the Montana wilderness, where I remained in isolation for 42 days. It was on the morning of the final day that Shaggy's full power was unleashed. So this dude managed to unleash Shaggy's full power inside of his body. Maybe we're not in danger after all. He seems to have a hold of this power. So we might be, he might be becoming the real Shaggy, but as long as he knows how to control it. We have to keep in mind, this dude, even though he's possessed by Shaggy, he isn't Shaggy. He literally went to that wilderness to train and learn how to use this ability without putting the entire planet at risk. So we'll have to see what happens next. The last thing I remember seeing on that version of Earth was the image of my own dead body wearing the Shaggy costume, face down on the side of 1 through 90, what the hell, on a windy August day. After the jarring image, I witnessed the universe fold in on and recreate itself through infinity. The multiverse exposed itself to me, and all it said was zoinks. So just bringing Shaggy into this man's body, it seems that by unleashing Shaggy's full power, he in fact did not control Shaggy. It seems that he actually got sloppy and allowed for that power to spread throughout the entire multiverse. So the universe is already compromised, and he saw a vision of the universe folding in and recreating itself in infinity. What does that mean? I suddenly found myself on a nearly identical version of the Earth I had once known. This is where we stand, and now that I have exposed this forbidding knowledge, the true Shaggy will appear again at any moment to claim my soul and trap me forever in my own personal hell. So this world that we're standing on is not the original Earth. This is the second Earth, recreated by Shaggy himself. And because this man, this actor, told us this information, he will now be sentenced to an eternity of damnation, a hell of his own making, just so we could know about this. At what cost? He didn't have to tell us this. Now his soul is done. Because what do we gain by knowing this information? There's nothing we can do to stop this man. Yet this man put his life on the line, telling us that this man is here. He's literally telling us that an unstoppable force is here in exchange for his own soul. Why? We can't do anything in the first place. So we get, after hearing this devastating truth, we get to hear from some of the other actors from Scooby-Doo 2. There were several fight scenes that had to be cut from the original script after Shaggy ended up almost killing the stunt doubles in his base form. 0.0% of his power still isn't safe, it seems. We actually had to evacuate the surrounding areas before filming just in case Shaggy accidentally went from 1% power to 2% power. Jesus Christ! What's next? If we say something that contradicts what other people in the cast have said, it's because our minds are scrambled from being in Shaggy's presence for too long. So these people are pretty much they're done. Like, Shaggy knows they exist. He has his eye on them specifically. I mean, obviously Shaggy knows almost everything, but these people specifically, they're walking on fucking thin ice. They better watch what they say. The movie was a lot of work. We spent hours translating the ancient stone tablets to learn the protective spells that allowed us to stand in Shaggy's presence. Even with the spells, it was hard not to burst into tears. Even taking precautions, the pressure of his power is still too much for a regular human to withstand. Because they're not the Shaggy actor. They weren't meant for that sort of thing. His soul, yes, it's still human, so he's still damned. There's nothing he could do. But he was the closest thing to Shaggy in this world, so he was the only hope we had, and he's pretty much going to die soon. So, yeah, we're done. The Fred actor. We actually couldn't film with Shaggy for more than 5 seconds at a time, or our bodies would be ripped to shreds, even though he was only at 1% of his power. There's no telling how long it took to make that movie. I hope they paid those actors well. Or perhaps being allowed to live after that filming was enough payment that they needed. Who knows? Scooby is actually CGI in all of the scenes throughout the movie, because all the real dogs sensed Shaggy's sheer power from miles away, and they instinctively wanted to flee, even when he used only 0.05% of his immense power. Jesus fucking Christ. I knew he was doing something to those dogs. And the final one. This is what shook me to the core, because that's when I knew that all hope was lost. I'll never forget the day Shaggy walked on set and announced he had killed God. This is the world that we live in, guys. God is dead, and Shaggy killed him. And if that wasn't worse, that wasn't bad enough, you could easily just say that Shaggy is a meme, an internet meme, right? All of this shit is just a joke. I mean, obviously Shaggy is a fictional character, but Ultra Instinct Shaggy, this is all, actually the Shaggy that we're talking about, he wasn't even using Ultra Instinct, that's just his power alone. But he stems from Ultra Instinct Shaggy, I believe. And Ultra Instinct Shaggy has always been a meme, it's been a joke. He wasn't in fiction, and he wasn't in the real world. That was until now. He has become a fictional character. So the memes are slowly becoming true. You see, last year, Warner Bros. Released a movie called Mortal Kombat Legends: Scorpion's Revenge. By the way, that movie was fucking fire, by the way. Check that shit out. But in the beginning of the movie, we see the Warner Bros. Animation logo, and it shows Daffy Duck going into a frenzy, like a madman, acting like a typical Looney Tunes character, doing what he's supposed to do as a character. Yet Scorpion had enough of his shit and decided to pull him into Netherrealm and kill Daffy Duck. A character that's supposed to be animated, a loony character that is protected by Toon Force, has been killed by Scorpion. So this version of Scorpion has already done something that the video game Scorpion is incapable of. But even this almighty powerful version of Scorpion is no match for the overwhelming force of Shaggy. Because you see, this year another Mortal Kombat movie came out. The sequel to Scorpion's Revenge, Mortal Kombat: Battle of the Realms. And on the Warner Bros. Animation Studio intro, we see Scorpion taking the place of Daffy. He jumps out of the logo, but instead of acting crazy, Scorpion seems to be training in peace, sharpening his skills. That's until the logo opens up and Shaggy grabs Scorpion by the neck. As he did Daffy, it pulls him in.
Get over here, man!
But if we look at Shaggy, he has an aura around him, a green glowing aura. This is Ultra Instinct. Now I know what you guys are thinking. Ultra Instinct looks a little bit different. Why is the aura green? Why are his eyes green? He looks more like Quan Chi. He looks more like a Mortal Kombat character that has absorbed many, many souls. Perhaps Shang Tsung? Maybe that's what happened. Because Ultra Instinct is a Dragon Ball thing. Warner Bros. Can't use that, or they'll get sued. So this is not Ultra Instinct Shaggy. This is something different. I'm gonna take a hypothesis. I want to say that Ultra Instinct Shaggy indeed was a meme, but Shaggy having that overwhelming power, that was true. So Shaggy is still a fictional character, but he never left the world of Scooby-Doo. I want to say that everything we've seen from this point in this video was just an omen of things to come. Shaggy is not that powerful. Well, he wasn't until now. Allow me to tell you what Shaggy has done. Somehow, we have all these metaverses, all these crossovers happening, like Space Jam 2, where all the Warner Bros. Shit, you know, is mixing together. I think during Space Jam 2, Shaggy saw an opportunity to invade the Mortal Kombat realm, and that's when he decided to become something more. He was tired of becoming a coward, so Shaggy began to learn Shang Tsung's magic, but he went a bit farther. Shaggy began to learn Shao Kahn's magic, or whatever Shao Kahn uses to absorb souls. Shaggy has that. The problem is Shaggy has absorbed far more souls than Shao Kahn has. Shaggy has absorbed enough souls to basically destroy the fourth dimension with ease. He is truly universal. He's in the Mortal Kombat world. He's multiversal. Guys, I don't know how much time left we have for the omen to come true, but it's coming, and there's nothing we can do about it.